And welcome to my Four Boys and an NL Girl podcast. It is Thursday, November 17th, 2016. It's my 46th birthday today, so I'm very excited. I'm having a great birthday so far. I went and got my nails done. I went and did some errands. I got to go fabric shopping. I bought some new needles, so I might do a birthday cast on later today. It's been a great day so far. I just put on supper because unfortunately, my husband, who has not traveled for the past 3 months, had to go to Halifax for a day. And naturally, the day that he had to go was on my birthday, so I had to make my own supper. But before you feel too sorry for me, there is a gorgeous New York-style cheesecake in the refrigerator that he made last night. So we're definitely going to have a lovely birthday supper and birthday dessert when he gets home, which shouldn't be too long. I'm trying to get this podcast taped just before the whole crowd of boys walks in through the door. So I hope I don't speak too fast because I'm having a really excited day and I'm really excited to be podcasting, and I love my birthday. There, I've said it. It's I'm just like a little kid. I don't care if I get any presents. I would prefer to have cake, but that's not what my birthday is about. It's a day where I feel really special all day, and I really enjoy that. So that's why I love my birthday. Bella the cat, I don't know if you can see her in the frame. She's come to visit. I guess I should tell you a little bit more about the podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, crocheting, sewing, quilting, rug hooking. Basically, it's about making all the things. I'm a very creative person. In the run of a week, I am usually involved in a variety of crafts. I enjoy doing a variety of crafts and making things, and I enjoy sharing them with you on my podcast. I also try to keep my podcasts around half an hour or no more than half an hour, so they're usually fairly short and sweet. So hopefully you enjoy that. Welcome to any returning viewers. Thank you so much for your support and coming back and watching me week after week. Me ramble on talking to myself, but I know you're out there somewhere. And a huge welcome to anybody who's new and checking out my podcast for the first time. I hope you like what you see. Totally understand if you don't. But if you do like what you see, maybe you can click the subscribe button below and then we can get together once a week. I'm not really sure what Bella's doing back there. She's quite keen to be on camera today, apparently. Now I've moved you can't tell probably, but I've moved my setup here a little bit today compared to before. I've changed around the living room furniture a little bit. So I'm going to be checking my notes fairly regularly and looking down this way for them. The first thing I'm going to talk about I guess I would normally talk about finished objects if I had any, but I don't. So I'm not going to talk about any finished objects. But I am going to show you my work in progress. Now I have two main works in progress. I'm working on a pair of Christmas socks for my husband. And Bella's forcing me to slow down, which is probably a good thing. I talk really too fast when I am excited. So my husband's socks are still a work in progress. I only have them, both socks are at about the same level. That's what I managed to get done this week because I had one was a little bit further along than the last one last week. So I'm not going to show you the socks because really there's not much progress. And really I've been fairly monogamously knitting on my Pure Joy shawl. So of course this is Joji Locatelli's Pure Joy shawl. I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed with this knit. I cannot wait to get it finished. I want to wear it. I'm enjoying the knit. I'm enjoying the pattern. I'm not enjoying the yarn over row because I made another mistake and now I've got to go back and take that out, but that's okay. It's the only row in the pattern that I have a continual challenge with, and it's all me, not the design of the shawl. So I want to show you how far I am so far. So here's the progress marker, which comes from Barbara at Knitting I Love. And here's my shawl so far. So in fact, see if Bella's going to be a good girl, and it's getting fairly long. It's big enough actually now to go around my neck. Not quite as far as I want it to yet, but it's getting to be a lovely size. I'm knitting this out of Sweet Georgia Yarns Tough Love Sock base. The darker color is called Deep Cove. The green-yellow color is called Melon. This yarn it's a nice yarn. It really softens up when it's washed, so I'm looking forward to getting it washed and blocked because I know it's going to be even softer than it is right now. And like I said, I'm really enjoying this knit. Can't wait for it to finish. I realize I have 2 wedges left, but those of course are my longest wedges, so they're going to take me more time, so I'll be interested to see how far I get on it this week. Though it's my birthday, I have not knit a stitch yet today, and because I was kind of running around the past couple days, have been very busy, I haven't knit much in the past 2 days, so it's nice for me to be taping a podcast today because it gives me incentive to get some more knitting done before next week. So where am I going to put that? Just put it right there. You can't tell, but I have my camera propped up, which is on top of a crate, antique crate actually, and it's which is in front of a table which is absolutely covered in Legos. If you follow my Instagram feed, at one point I would have posted that table with the Legos covering it, and that's actually what I'm putting my things on right now. What do I want to mention next? Oh yes, before I forget, I wanted to mention that the Pure Joy shawl that I'm knitting, I'm really lucky in that I'm knitting with a friend. I'm knitting in tandem with Jenny from the Lucky Jenny Knits podcast. Hi Jenny! Jenny was, I guess, encouraged by me or influenced by me, hopefully that's a good thing, to cast on her own Pure Joy shawl. Excuse me. And so she and I are busily knitting along together, which has been really fun. It's nice to know that there's somebody else out there kind of working at it at the same speed you are to get the same project done. So we're kind of having our own little mini knit along. So hi Jenny, and thanks so much for joining me knitting a Pure Joy shawl. We're both knitting in hopes that we can enter the Die Another Day podcast shawl along. So Amanda and Christina from the Die Another Day podcast are hosting a shawl along this fall. I can't remember when it's over, but I think I'm still doing fine. You don't need to finish the shawl that you're knitting, but I think you need to knit at least 75 or 100 grams of yarn to qualify. And I haven't weighed my shawl yet, but I think I'm getting fairly close to at least the 75 gram mark. So I'm hoping that I can drop a picture into that shawl along and qualify for the shawl along. And it's not really, of course, it's always nice if you win a prize, but I never win prizes. It's more, I really like the fact that myself and lots of other knitters are knitting a shawl and some people, there's a couple of people who have knit, they're on their 3rd Pure Joy shawls in the time that this shawl along has gone on. So I mean, we're talking about people who are speed demons on the needles, or all they do is knit, and obviously they don't have 3 young boys, I don't think. So lucky for them, they get lots of knitting time, and lucky for me, the pattern is an absolute joy to knit, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really looking forward to being involved in that shawl along. So thanks, Amanda and Christina. Hi, thanks so much for hosting that. Last week I mentioned that I was getting in the business of designing and putting out cross-stitch patterns. They're now at one of my local yarn and fabric stores called Fiber Lily, and I'm really excited about that. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for everybody who sent me a note or a word of encouragement about this new kind of business design venture. I'm really excited about it and nervous at the same time, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hoping to have a couple more designs ready in the next few weeks. Sorry about that. You may not have noticed, although the frame might look a little bit differently now. My camera just died, so I'm back again. I was talking about something exciting that Sandy from the By the Lakeside podcast and I are collaborating on. There's that big word for me to get out on a very excited day. So we're collaborating on a make-along. This is kind of in celebration. Well, I had thought about it because I was really excited about my birthday coming up, and this is also episode 10, which is huge. I was never even sure I'd get a first episode up, let alone 10. And I've been doing this fairly religiously each week, so I'm really proud of myself. And I thought it would be nice to have another contest or make-along of some form. And I contacted Sandy to see if she was interested in hosting it with me. And yay! Hi, Sandy, you are interested, so that's just wonderful. What we're going to do, we're calling it the Crafty Winter Make-Along. So it'll be, I'll put this on the screen, hashtag Crafty Winter Mal, M-A-L for make along. And it runs from today, the 17th of November, hopefully I get this podcast posted today, until the 31st of January. So there's no pressure about getting something finished in time for Christmas or the holidays. What we're hoping is that this can be a make along for any craft. So if you sew, if you rug hook, if you crochet, if you quilt, whatever, the sky's the limit in terms of the project that you can put in. There'll be a bit of an honor system in terms of what project you put in. So for example, if you do 1 2-inch crocheted ornament, that a posting for that probably wouldn't be appropriate because it's not much work. However, a finished ornament or a finished bunting or something like that would count as a finished object and earn you a spot in the thread for becoming eligible for winning a prize. So both Sandy and I are going to host a thread on Ravelry. I haven't yet, but over the next day or two, I'm going to set up a my first Ravelry group under 4 Boys and an NL Girl. And so keep an eye out for that on Ravelry, and I'll post something on Instagram saying when I've done that. And then there'll be 2 threads. One will be finished objects with no chatter, so that then I can use random number generator for people to win prizes at the end of January or beginning of February. And then I'll have a second thread in that you can post about progress on finished objects, and I'm hoping to get lots of conversation going about what people are working on. And not just for the holidays, it could be works in progress that have nothing to do with holidays or gift giving. It could be winter projects, it could be paper craft, it could be anything. So I'm really interested and excited to see what people are going to post there. I realize that some people are not on Ravelry, so I would encourage you to become a member. It's totally free. It gives you access to thousands and thousands of free and paid for patterns. So if you're not on Ravelry, that is the way that this contest is going to run, is for people to participate through Ravelry. So hopefully you will, and you'll join the group, and we can have some conversation and some fun about what people are working on. The next thing I want to talk to you about is, you may remember that last week I went to a local craft fair. It was the craft fair that's put on by the Newfoundland and Labrador Craft Council, and I had shown some footage in my last episode about that fair, and I wanted to show you a couple of things that I purchased there, because 2 of them are yarn related, and one of them, the first one I'm going to show you, is not yarn related at all, but it's really fun. So there's a lady, I'll put her information in the screen. Her name is Diane Budden. She's from Fogo Island originally, but she lives in St. John's. So her business, and I did some taping from Diane's booth at the craft fair, so this piece may look familiar. So it's Diane Budden's Newfoundland Collectibles. I'll put that in the screen. The camera may or may not focus, but like I said, I'll put the information on the screen on the bottom. So Diane does these beautiful hand-painted rocks, so I went to the craft fair and I bought a rock. I still can't believe I bought a rock, but I couldn't resist this gorgeous outhouse. This is actually a housewarming gift for my parents for their new old house. And my mom and I kind of have a running joke about toilets. When we lived in Europe, I used to take pictures of toilets because facilities all over Europe are completely different from one place to the next. So I always found that a little bit entertaining every time you had to go. And so this outhouse, it's something that is very near and dear to my heart in terms of Newfoundland and Labrador's history. My mother grew up before electricity and plumbing, and so her family grew up using an outhouse. So I thought this would look really cute on the nice wide window ledge in one of their bathrooms. So that's one of the pieces that I picked up. The other shopping that I did was at Brindy Linens, and I've shown, these are knitting bags. I've shown a knitting bag from Brindy Linens several episodes ago when I had purchased one in Corner Brook. This time I purchased 2. I also purchased a little sachet of lavender. I'm not going to show that because that actually went to my FiberShare Partners package, so don't tell her. Hopefully she's not watching, or if she is, she didn't hear that part. Anyway, I picked up a knitting bag for my eldest son for his knitting. And this is a picture of a color work. It's usually done in a solid color and cream. So this is a very traditional knitted mitten pattern. And this mitten, I don't know if you notice, but let's pull this for a second. It has a thumb, a finger, and then your 3 fingers fit in the other part of the mitten. These are called trigger mittens. And the purpose of them is that you could go out hunting and not have to take your mittens off when you're using your rifle. So these are, like I said, a very traditional knitted symbol, I guess, for Newfoundland Labrador. You can still buy trigger mittens all over the place. They're absolutely gorgeous, and I haven't knit them yet because I still haven't done color work, but that's all going to change, right? I'm going to start doing some color work. The other one I picked up, and this may look familiar because the knitting bag, and it's a drawstring bag, so it just pulls closed like that. Needs a little bit of practice to work its way in. So this is a purple knitting bag. This one is actually going to be one of the prizes for our Crafty Winter Make-Along. So again, it's from Brindy Linens. Renee is the owner, and I'll put her information, if I haven't already, at the bottom of the screen. So if you're interested in shopping with Renee, you can. Now, I did do a little bit more shopping and have some more acquisitions that I wanted to show you. I was lucky enough on the 25th of October when Christina from the Cozy Knitter had her yarn update, and I was lucky enough to score myself some of her joyful yarn. Can you see the sparkle in that? It's on her shimmer base. It is fingering weight, 84% superwash merino, 16% silver selena. There's 420 yards on this, and it's lovely. And I'm going to take it apart now. I haven't done that yet because I wanted to save it for the podcast. Because in this, it is just gorgeous. And in here you can see there's the mini, which is a very generous mini. I'm not sure how many grams that is, but that's not included in the 420 meters. And then there's the that glittering stellina. Oh, I hope you can see that because it is absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Christina, for doing what you do, because I could never do this, and it's absolutely stunning. And in fact, this might be my birthday cast on this evening, maybe. I said I wouldn't have more than 1 pair of socks on the needles, but this is hard to resist. So we'll see what I end up doing with this, if I cast it on or not. I think I mentioned sometime over the past few episodes that I was participating in Fiber Share this year, or Fiber Share this season, because I understand that Fiber Share happens 3 or 4 times a year. So, and again, I'll put the information for Fiber Share on the screen if you're not familiar with it. Essentially, it's an organization that pairs knitters or makers. So it's knitting, crocheting, weaving, and there may be another craft as well, I can't remember, but pairs those makers together to exchange gifts. So what happens is you send a package to somebody and somebody else sends you a package. And the whole concept behind it is it's done from a place of giving, not a place of receiving. So you can make your parcel as there needs to be at least, I think it's 200 yards or 200 grams. Don't quote me, you'd have to look at the specifics on the Fiber Share website. But there is a minimum limit of how much fiber to share. But beyond that, it can be from your stash, it can be brand new, it can be a mix of brand new and stash, whatever you want. So I got my Fiber Share Partners package off in the mail this week. So I'm hoping she'll get that. Well, it'll probably take a couple weeks because it's going to Edmonton. And for some reason, Canada Post is not that fast getting things across the country. But anyway, I received my Fiber Share package from my partner, who is Tia at Strings and Things. And thank you so much, Tia. I was absolutely blown away by this parcel. It is fantastic. I'm going to take a picture of it as well and post it on Instagram so that you know I received it in case you're not watching the podcast, because I'm not sure if you are or not. So I'm going to get started and show you what Tia sent me. Tia, like I said, her business is Strings and Things, and one of the things that she makes are those gorgeous faux fur pom-poms for the top of hats. And Tia was really generous and sent me 3. So there's kind of a gray. Here's I guess that's more of a steel gray. The light's not great today. I'm sorry, guys. It's an overcast day, and this is more of a mottled gray, brown, black, and white. And I have 3 boys, and I think these would look gorgeous on hats for them. They may not like the pom-poms, though, the idea, because they are boys, and I don't know if they'll think they're too girly, so I've got to check with them. But thank you, Tia, so much for sending 3, because if they are interested in them, I don't need to have 3 boys fighting over them. Tia also sent me some yarn that I can use for my Cozy Memories blanket, which I talked about, I think, back in episode 1. I haven't done anything with my Cozy Memories blanket. Frankly, I have 1 mini to put in it. I haven't been sock knitting that long or using fingering weight that long, so I don't have a huge stash. So I'm building. And one of the things she sent me is this gorgeous. Now, this isn't just a mini. This is I'm not sure how many grams are here, but there's lots of yarn. This is done by Sweet Fiber, which I haven't heard of before. It's hand dyed in British Columbia. The color is sea glass, and this is their super sweet sock base. It's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. So that is just, and doesn't that look like sea glass? It's tonal. It's not just a solid green. There's sort of darker and lighter shades, but that's just beautiful. She also sent me a little bit of this sock weight yarn, which has purples, gray, brown. It's just gorgeous. And then she sent me 2 other things, you guys. Look at this. Isn't that stunning? This is Malabrigo, colorway 850 Archangel, and it's 100% merino superwash. Now I'm not a good enough knitter to tell you if this is fingering weight or lace weight. If it's fingering weight, it's a light fingering weight for sure. And if it's lace weight, it's a heavier lace weight. So I'm not sure what it is, but the colors are just to die for. Look at the bright orange moving into that purplish red. It's just stunning. I hope the camera's picking up on those colors because it is really beautiful. Just gorgeous. I have no idea what this is going to be. I suspect a shawl because this is spectacularly soft. And where it doesn't have nylon in it, I'm not sure if I would use it for a pair of socks, if it is indeed fingering weight. But I think this would be gorgeous in a shawl. What do you think? It even goes with my dress. I didn't talk about my dress. I'll talk about my dress in a second. The other gorgeous acquisition from the lovely Tia is this stunning yarn from Smith & You. It's proudly hand dyed in Kamloops, British Columbia. I actually have an aunt and uncle who live in Logan Lake, just outside Kamloops. It's on their Marianne sock space, which is 80% merino, 20% nylon superwash 4-ply, 437 yards. And this, again, the purples, the blues, she really nailed. Oh, sorry, the colorway is called Borealis. And Tia really nailed what I like. I mean, you do exchange some information back and forth in terms of what colors you like, but these are gorgeous. And again, I don't know if these are going to be socks either. This might be another shawl. I'm really addicted to shawls right now. I'm really enjoying the shawls that I've been knitting, and I've only finished one shawl. Yes, one shawl, because I've been so scared of doing lace. That was the Spindrift shawl by Helen Stewart. And I wear that all the time. Whether or not the color goes with what I'm wearing, I wear it all the time. So I think that if I were to knit more shawls, I would get a lot of good wear out of them, particularly this time of year, because I find if I have something around my neck, then I'm much more comfortable. Hopefully I'm going to make this work with the magic of editing. I forgot to talk about my dress. And I will hopefully enclose a picture of this dress hung, because it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to see. But this is the washi dress. Can't remember for the life of me who it's designed by. I'll put that at the bottom of the screen. It's a pattern that I've made. I finished a shirt, so a shirt that comes to, it's a kind of a tunic length. This one is actually a dress that comes to above the knee. It has a shirred back, which gives it a nice shape. It is really flattering. I'm wearing mine with flannel leggings today, although I don't really need flannel leggings because it is 14 degrees outside today. 14 degrees Celsius, so it's lovely and warm. It's kind of a shorter sleeve So you could wear a longer sleeve shirt or something underneath it, as long as I guess your neckline was a little bit low as well. I have made, like I said, I've made this pattern twice, and I have two more, a maxi length dress and a long sleeve shirt cut out downstairs ready to be sewn up. Maybe me mentioning that will ensure that I actually work on it sometime in the near future. So this is my washi dress, and I hope you like it. I love it. I thought it was a great dress to wear for my birthday, even though it isn't brand new and I don't have a birthday frock in particular this year. It is one of my favorite dresses to wear, and I really enjoy it, and I absolutely love the fabric, the pink and the orange, lovely combination. All right, I have talked about whips. I have talked about the saying thank you about the cross stitches. I've talked about our crafty winter make along. I'm really excited about that. I've talked about acquisitions and my fiber share package. I think I might be all talked out. So thank you so much for joining me again this week. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I have no idea what footage from Newfoundland and Labrador I'm going to show in this podcast, so I hope you enjoy that as well. I really look forward to seeing you again next week, and I hope that everybody is having a wonderful day that happens to be my birthday, and a wonderful week which happens to be my birthday week as well. And I hope you have time to make at least a few things this week to make your heart happy. Thanks for dropping by. Bye-bye.